Hey there, welcome to another video. In this video, I'll be showing you how to create a multi-step form and conditional form using a free plugin called Forminator. Forminator is one of the most popular plugin in WordPress repository, which provides you a lot of free features. And previously it was quite impossible or hard for any beginner to create a multi-step form free, and also you cannot create conditional form easily, but Forminator makes it very easy for us. You do not have to use their pro version, or you do not have to pay anything for using conditional form features and also the multi-step features. It's really useful, and there are lots of other widgets that you can use inside the form. You can receive payments, you can add payment gateway as well. It's, I would say, more than useful. So I'm so excited to show you the whole things today, and my goal is today to share and explore and share with you every single widget that comes with the form, which is drag and drop form builder, and I'll show you how you can use them, and also just one example that I would like to share with you from my website. So if you just take a look at here, I just created this form for test purpose. And when I click basic info, as you can see, when someone land in this form, there is a basic information, and few of the fields are required and few are just they can fill out, or they can just skip this one. And if they click on next, there is some other information that they can fill out, or some of them, or they can skip. And also there is a conditional form, conditional options. So let's say, for an example, if someone click, do you have a content ready? If someone click yes, and here you can see upload your content and image on Google Drive and share with us the public link. So this is conditional form, not form, this is conditional field. And when someone click on no, here you can see there is nothing, just some kind of random things or random stops here. And I was just trying to create a sample for you. And when go to final stage, let's fill out this one here. I'm going to fill out the required field so that I can go to the next step. Well, when I click on next, so as you can see, there is a other information, and you can create literally uncountable. I didn't try more than 3, even I have tried 4, and that's enough. So you can, instead using the basic info project information, you can also use image instead using text as well. So that's very useful, and I think it's time to explore the form. And without further delay, let's jump into my computer. So for creating this form, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to install the form first. So to install the form, here I have added a fresh WordPress installation. To install the form, I'm going to navigate plugins, then click on add new, and type here Forminator. Then you can just wait few seconds, it will pop up the form here, and click install now. Click activate. So now we have just activated the form. If you navigate to the Forminator, here you can see inside the dashboard the Forminator. If I hover over the Forminator, there's a forms, polls, quizzes. You can create polls, you can create quizzes as well. It's a quiz or quizzes, submission, add-ons. It comes with a lot of add-ons, and if you're using the pro version, they have the options for the pro version, not free, but it's enough for the free version. Let me explore. And here is the Forminator Pro version. I'm not going to use the Pro version. From this dashboard, I'm going to use the form first. Let's click on forms, and here you can see there is a documentation. If you are not familiar, if you want to learn more about this form, you can simply navigate the documentation from here, and let's click over here. As you can see, I just open in a new tab, and here is the documentation you can follow from here. And they have also tutorial as well. So there's lots of information that you can follow, but for quick get started, let's continue. Click create, And when I click create, you can literally start with a template. You can use the contact us, you can use newsletter sign up, you can use request or quote request, registration form, and login form. So you can also create post as well. That's so many things inside a single form, and it's free. So if I just click over here, let's start from blank, and you can explore them later on after watching this video, but I always prefer to learn the basic thing first. So when I click on blank and click continue here, type in name, let's say test form, and click create. So here is our form field, and when I click insert field, you can see lots of field, and there are one field that is pro version, and also there are a couple of other fields. So right now all of them here you can see except one, all of them are free and you can use them. So I'll explore just few of them from here, and I hope you can easily explore the other field, and just few of them I'll be using from here, which is necessary for multi-step and conditional form. Let's select my name or name, email, phone number, address, web, and for multi-step I'll be using radio for conditional, and also input field. Even you can calculate the total cost for any service or anything. You can also show the calculation as well. So let's start with this selection here, insert field, and then you can select preview, or you can click preview to preview the form. So here is the information, right? Well, and that's the basic thing. Let's add section for multi-step. Then I'll be moving to conditional, and later on I'll be using calculation. Let's click on page break, insert field, and here you can see the page break is appearing here. We can just drag it and drop it to here. So I'm not going to use this one. I'd like to use the page break. And even if you want, you can also create column easily, just drag and drop it here. So as you can see, it's 2 column. And now for the phone, I'm okay with that. And here is the page break. Let's click on preview. And here you can see page 1, and then the next step is finish, because I have only 2 steps. Let's add few more steps here. So I will add them later on, but before going to add, let's add conditional field here. Okay, before conditional, let's add some more field. Let's add calculation, select date picker, and that's enough. Click insert, and here add a page break again. Click over here, you can duplicate, and then before calculation, let's add the page break. So drag it and drop it here. Click on preview, and here you can see the page 1, page 2, and then finish. When I click on page 2, it looks like this. When I click finish, it looks like this. So there is a calculator and the calculation field, and let's choose some services here. Let's add we just complete the section, we just complete the multi-step, and here you can also change the multi-step name, page break name, and something like that. Let me show you. Okay, now click over here for pagination to understand and change the pagination. So as I can say it, I've already said that you can change it. Let's say basic and pro, then finish. So you can use this kind of text here or whatever you want. And also if I click over here, you can also change it as a step and you can use progress bar, so it looks much better. You can use button text. You can, if I select custom, you can also change a custom button as well. So currently it's next and previous text, but if you want, you can change something else, but I'd like to use the default one. Click on apply, and if I just wanted to share with you, let's add the conditional field. So here is the radio button. When I click over here, so before going to create conditional, if I just click any of the option from here, let's say phone or any of the option, there is a couple of things. The tab, I would say it's called tab, and inside the tab there is a different information. You have to understand them exactly how it works. So when I click any field, it comes with labels. Then inside the labels here, you can change the name, the placeholder, and the description. It's optional. So the placeholder, basically it's displaying inside the field, and the name will be displaying when you are receiving the form. When someone submit the form, you'll be receiving the name label, and also the label will be displaying over the form field. So for an example, if I want to share with you, here is the form that I have created, test purpose, and as you can see, this is the name, and here is the placeholder which is displaying EG42 Wallaby Way, and that's just a random address, and there is a postal code, there is placeholder. So you already know that what is placeholder. Let's drag it, and here you can see the multiple. That means if I just want to show you preview, you can see, just hold on, the name, which is only the name here, right? But when I select here, you can see the multiple. That means the first name, the middle name, or the last name you can display all together here. But if you want, you can hide all of them. You can just use the first name, or you can just close this one, prefix as well. There is a prefix as well, so you can use the prefix from here, and like Mr., Mrs., something like that, but it's not necessary. Sometimes it requires for a specific form, like if you're creating a form for salon or a doctor or a patient appointment, then it's required sometimes, but not every single time. And that's why it's useful, and you should understand how it works. Now if I just select single, that's enough for single. I'm not going to use multiple as of now. So select single, and if I click settings here, you can see required. If this field is required or not. By default it's optional, but you can make it required. And here you can see pre-populated. If you just take a look carefully, it's not related to the form field, but when you're using custom code or custom information, get value from the URL or something like that. If you're not familiar with the PHP or custom development, then ignore this one. It's not necessary. Click on styling. Here you can see additional CSS class that you can place here easily, and visibility. So you can, from visibility, you can use the conditional method or the conditional steps for this form. I'll show you. And just for like a name, if you just take a look at other field here, all of them are similar. Let's say for an example, if I click email address, all of them has the label, setting, style, visibility. It's similar. So I'm not going to explain everything, but I'm going to explain the necessary part here. You can, which is necessary for completing your form. So if I just navigate here, let's select radio, and let's add two options or a couple of options. Let's say website design, and then click over here. Okay, let's add website development, and then go to settings. Here you can see it's just default options that I'm using, and for the calculation, that's the important part, and that wasn't there in previous widget that I have shared with you, but here you can see, just if I click enable, so when I click enable, after clicking here, as you can see, the field, the calculation value is required. So when someone click web design, let's say for an example, for design you have added 500, and for development you have added 700. That's it. Just use this one from here, and I'll be showing you how it works. And the visibility style, it's not necessary. The one thing, you can use the conditional method. So when someone, as you can see, show, okay, let's click over here, and the calculation, or okay, so I have to add some other field. Let's delete this one. And now we have added the radio button, we have added a value for calculation. And if I just click the calculation here, go to settings, as you can see, the field type is read only, so the field can only read, and you can also make it hidden. And by default the calculation field is read only. You can also hide this field if you do not want to show the calculation result on the form. So sometimes it's not necessary or required to display the calculation on the form, and that's why they have added this feature. If I click calculation, so you can just, if you just read here carefully, the empty token of calculator term, you can preview your form and check the formula is generating expected result. So let's say for an example, if I click over here, I have added only the radio. If you just remember, I have added the form field and the value here. Click radio 1, and as you can see, there is only radio 1. And let's say add plus, we can multiply, we can plus, whatever we want. So I just want to use the radio as of now, and click apply and click preview. So I'm going to click on next, and here you can see web design. I have selected the radio button here, because basically the radio button we can select only one, and I have selected web design. Click next, and as you can see, the calculation form is displaying 500. If I go back again, select web development, go to next, and it's displaying 700 because we have added 700 previously. So let's close this one, and let's make it a little bit dynamic. Let's add another field, and when someone click, let's add conditional field here. So visibility, when someone select the radio button, and the option should be when someone select website design, this input field will be visible. So to make this more unique, let's change the label here, website design idea. So add some value here. Share some great idea related to the project. Click apply, default value, and here is the placeholder. Well, and now if I click preview, and here you can see by default, if I click next and next, as you can see, there is no value here, right? When I select web design, the website design idea field is visible here, but when I select web development, there is nothing. And using this conditional method, you can add lots of other features. So I hope you understand how the conditional method work, and I'm not going to make this video so long, and I'm not going to make this boring as well. And let me share with you another important thing here. For the radio button, if I add another radio button, let's select, you can add image here. So for option 1, if I click over here, you can see there is an options to enable image. Let's click over here, click upload, and right now I do not have any icon here. Let's add some random icon. Then for option 2, add another image. Okay, so upload from here. I have just uploaded 2 images here. Let's say settings, and say here a nice form. Click apply and click preview here, and let's see how it looks. Okay, now if I just click next again, and here you can see the image, you can easily click over here, and also using some custom CSS and custom style, custom code, you can also change this form as well. So if I just navigate here, there is still few options. Click radio, go to styling, you can add custom CSS, and from setting you can change the layout to vertical to horizontal as well. Let's click horizontal layout and click apply, go to preview, and then here I'm just clicking next, and as you can see, it's changed its position, and that's really nice, right? And hopefully you understand how it works, how the web design and the development works, even though how the calculation work. You can add a lot of field here for calculation. Let's say you have created a page where you have created you'd like to provide service to your client, and you have added multiple section for multiple information where the client can see the total calculation of every single project, and that's really useful. So that's the basic thing. And now if I just want to publish this form, and let me show you, copy the form, it's called shortcode. I just copy the shortcode by clicking over here. Now click and close, create a page. This is just a test page that I'm going to use. It's a fresh WordPress installation. There is no page. I'm not sure why it takes so much time here. Very strange. And type here test form, then search here shortcode, and paste the shortcode here. And also if I try to see the Forminator is available or not, and here you can see the form. I think it's a Forminator form. Yes, the form is also available. You do not have to use the shortcode, you can directly use the form. Let's remove this one, click publish, and then view the page. So here is our form, and we have created this form, right? Let's click next, and if I click web development, there is nothing, and web design, it's conditional, and the final stage has some value calculation and other information. The value calculation is not changeable, and it's hard coded. I would say it's not hard coded, but it's just a visible value, not editable. And now the most important thing is, when someone submit the form, or if you, before submitting, if you want to change the appearance, if you want to change the other information, let me show you. From appearance field, you can change the form style. By default, it's just default. When I select flat, it looks like this without any border. When I select bold, it looks a bold border. When I select material, it's very simple. There is nothing fancy here. And let's click update and view the form here. So as you can see, it's very clean and neat and clean form, right? So if I select none, there is nothing. You have to add the custom CSS, or the theme will be applying by default. So if I select none and reload, it depends what theme or what type of theme you're using, but this theme doesn't have the default style for the form. So you have to just add your own CSS. You can easily add your own CSS by adding custom class. So if you're not familiar, it doesn't matter, you do not have to use it, but this is more advanced and I'm not going to show you the custom CSS here. However, if you have request, then I will definitely create another video using custom CSS. And also the color, you can use the custom color. You can use the, when I select custom, by default it's displaying the default color, but when I select custom, you can change the Forminator every single color here, success color, response color. So you can go through step by step from here and you can learn exactly how it works. And the font, currently it's using the theme fonts, but if you want, you can use the custom font for every single field. And the form container, so there is a lot of things that you can change from here. And the most important thing, when someone submit the form, how it looks like, and what kind of information after submission, or what basically when someone wants to redirect the user to the thank you page, someone wants to redirect the user to their product page, or open a pop-up or something like that, all you have to change it from the behavior from here. After submission, right now by default it will display this message. If you want, you can redirect the user on a specific URL, and if you want, you can redirect or you can just hide the form by default. So there is these two options. Even they have the conditional option here. You can also use the conditional field, and due to the condition, you can take the user to different kind of page, and you can display different kind of advertisement and options to visibly display on the user screen. Let's close this one. And the method, right now it's Ajax method, but you can use page load, and also you can use server side as well, validation for the server side validation. And there are a couple of other things. And for the security, there is a couple of other information you can enable or you can just disable. If you want, you can read the documentation to understand how it works. And lifespan is, everything is, I think it's okay to use the default. If you're not familiar, if you're not using those things, then do not have to change them. And the email notification, so currently I'm using a just default email. The admin email will be displaying here. So you have multiple owner, you can add multiple email here. When someone submit the form, you will receive notification to that specific email, and that's the email that you have to add here. Integrations, and here you can add third-party add-ons and apps or third-party add-ons that they're providing from Forminator or any kind of third party. So if you just take a look at here carefully, you can send these forms data to any of the connected third-party apps. So from the integration page, basically it's from Forminator. I'm not going to show you, it's pro version and it requires to upgrade your Forminator. From settings, there is store submission in database. You can store this submission into your database, and you can also just store the default value, multi-option value, privacy, and something like that. Let's submit this form, and let me show you how it stored the form into the database. For form, let's random stuff here. Well, I'm not sure if it's going to submit or not because I didn't fill up everything. It's submitted. Now if I go back to the form dashboard here, that is what I'm going to show you, and that's the reason that I've submitted, because as you can see it's submitted here. And if I click over here, submission, there is only one, right? So if I click submissions, as you can see, almost there, because I haven't choose any form. Let's choose test form and click show submissions. Here you can see the data. It's added into your database, and that's the beauty. Even though you are receiving this information or notification into your email, and also it's directly added into your database. So this is exactly how it works and how beautiful this form. And that's all for today. I think I have shown you a very speedy way, but let me know if you have any concern or any comments related to this video so that I can improve myself. Have a good day. Bye.